What's going on, y'all? We are out exploring Colonial Williamsburg today. Just wanted to share with you what we see, what we take in, and to see basically kind of how cheap we can do it and what our experiences are. Because apparently there's tickets that you can buy to go experience more with Williamsburg. We're trying to keep it more in line with our budget. So just see if we can just kind of take it in, see some buildings, see some of the people dressed up, and just share with you what we could do for how much we've spent. Right now, I will start us off here in the parking lot. We use the app. It's called passportparking.com. This parking lot is very close to the Capitol, and I paid a little over $8, and it got us about 4.5 hours to park here. So the truck's still running. Everybody's over there. They were waiting for me to figure out the parking situation, so I'm going to go retrieve them, and we're going to start walking around. Join us, shall you? Now you sign up for the app, you put in the zone, apply your credit card. You can add more time, which I appreciate that quite a bit. I allowed it to send me notifications, so it'll send me text messages. And then that way, if we are like, a mile over that way somewhere, I can just throw some extra dollars at it and then we won't be in any trouble. So at night, people can drive over here. During the day, they're driving all around this area. Just kind of wanted to show y'all. So if you need to come through here at 11 o'clock at night, you could just drive right through this area. But there is the Capitol right there, and I want to go check that out. That's high on my list of priorities. So this is the Capitol. And when I heard about this, I was like, what exactly is it the capital of? Well, this was the British capital of the colonies. And off this way, there is the governor's mansion, which would be the governor, the British appointed governor of these American colonies. So this has all been restored, apparently by the Rockefellers in the early 1900s. Look at these trees, they're fascinating. I think that no one can go past the gate if you don't have a bracelet. So we'll have to stay out here. Hi, Tanya. We're there. That's the Capitol building. I'd be fascinated to learn like what actually goes on or what went on inside of there. As I said, this time around, we're trying to save a little bit of money, so we're just walking around the area. All right, what else should we go find? We don't really have any expectations for today. That clock is accurate. It's working. That's good stuff. Well, we got a map. The gentleman that was in costume out front of the Capitol, he said it did take a ticket. Anything with red on this map takes a ticket to go in. This is a museum, but he said the map is free. But it shows on here what's closed on what days, what's open on certain days. There's a list on the back of what all kinds of different events are going on. Like if you listen, you can hear a guy talking down the hill right now. So anything in yellow is a shop, you can buy stuff, and anything in blue is a place that you can eat. So Kaylin would like to see the governor's palace, so we're gonna see about walking from here at the Capitol down to Palace Green, and then go take a look at the palace from the outside.
I did the unthinkable. I disobeyed them. I left my regiment. I purchased a ship, fittingly called La Victoire, the victory, for that is what I was in search of, victory in this great and noble cause. Well, of course, the king and queen soon found out that I, the Marquis de Lafayette, had disobeyed them and...
Sorry, it was so shaky there. I know when you zoom in, it's harder to hold it still. You have people in costume just kind of all over the place. And the drainage is functioning. It's the apothecary. That's a museum. Look, you can see right there it says admission pass required. Okay. From 1755. So what do you think about the clothing from those eras? The ticket required. So that is that like for current day military? Open to ticketed military guests and their families. It's the Liberty Lounge back there. That's kind of cool. So if you're a veteran or in the service, and a little extra stop for your family. Hey, somebody left a water bowl there for your dog. Just realized these were on the sidewalk, telling you what the streets are. So that's Gloucester. The hats make up a hidden Mickey. I don't think we need a ticket to go in the store. Do y'all want to go in? Hello. Do we need a ticket to come into the store?
Nope.
Okay. Girls, look at the bamboo flutes. Got some old games. Drums, bugles. Look at the dolls up here, Tony.
You gonna get what?
Awesome.
Yeah, I like those flutes. Those are cool.
No. I'm gonna hang on above your head.
Is it actual wood, do you think? It's boxed up like it's
Oh, come
plastic.
in.
That whistle, the recorder. And you all saw the hats? Oh, I like those bears down there. Those are nice. Although they're red coats. They're red coats. Fox and a horse and a bear. Ooh, look at the cat with a little colonial hat. And a squirrel. I'm gonna terrorize Kai and get a squirrel.
Sometimes the chicken rolls out the window. He starts making jiggling sounds with his teeth.
Uh-huh. It's pretty. Does it actually move enough air? Can you feel it? Cool. This reminds me of the movie The Patriot. The second youngest son had a bunch of little metal figures that the dad wound up turning into musket balls. That's a fancy rubber duck.
They put a pencil.
An actual ballpoint pen, which is a modern technology.
Yes. I just make the actual thing. We cut it differently, and you can actually write with it without it's.
You dip it in ink, basically, right?
Yes.
Yep. And the colonial flag?
So you got the big one, and you got the small one, and you got a bunch of different ones.
It's called the Grand Union flag. All right. Got some "Don't Tread on Me" stuff over here. Bunch of T-shirts. I like this. Huzzah! And stickers. Hey, now we're speaking to something that I actually need for the RV. Thank you. Nice hats. Poor dragonfly. Got a restroom right there. They've got restrooms. There's a cold drinking fountain in there, which is good because Kiro's feeling a little dehydrated. Got a well right here. I was just looking across the way at this garden with the gate that's open. Wondering, is that something we can check out? Look at this epic tree. This thing is huge. You want to sit down by it? How old do you think that tree is?
100 or more.
100 or more years old? I think you're right. There's what? Cut. Yeah.
I don't know if you can catch it here.
Yeah, that's Tanya. I'm not sure if we're supposed to go in there or not. I really don't know. Huh? True, but I don't know if that means when you could just walk into someone's backyard at their house either. I think we should step out. Because this isn't on the map with a color. Look at all the people.
There's an encampment.
Yeah, let's go check out the encampment.
Is that this way?
This is a Friday afternoon in April.
Probably people think.
Yeah, let's go check out the encampment. So this over here is the American Indian Encampment. That is a ticketed museum. And over here is the Carpenter, which I believe is also ticketed.
Yeah, it's my flag.
So you can look in from the outside. You just can't go in and take it all in unless you got a ticket. Oh, there's some classic woodworking there. Wow. And then it looks like there's brick making going on back there too. I'm gonna go check out these bricks. By the way, we discovered, make sure when you're on this road, you watch out for horse poop.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting. So they're making bricks over here.
It's made of wood.
It is? Yeah, that is wood. Almost looks like they could put a candle up there. Which is probably, yeah, you can see the hinges on the side, so they could open it up. If there was a candle up there, then they could light it. There's a little creek running through that backyard. Over here is the cabinet maker and harpsichord maker. Oh, and the creek runs below the shop. Yeah. I almost feel like there's a waterfall back there. I think it's just right there. It's kind of like a rapids right down there. Look at the giant rocks that they use. Like, that's an old-fashioned road. Can you imagine being on one of those buggies with your horse and you've got the wooden wheels with almost no cushion? How bumpy must that ride have been? These are just houses of people that live here. I think Queen is in, that's the street. That's Queen Street. I see a whole lot of horse poo, but I haven't seen a horse yet. Supposedly there's cold drinks back there somewhere, but where? All I see is like, is that a barn? It's a small barn.
Looks more like there'd be cold drinks over there.
Yeah, what's that? That's building 59, I think. That is the courthouse. You can see everybody inflicting themselves into self-punishment out there. Look at this epic oak tree out here behind the courthouse. Kira wants to climb in it, but it's like, I think at this point they're protecting it to make sure it lasts longer. But it definitely would be a good climbing tree. Just a random cannon sitting there. Wonder if that's something that maybe they fire off at certain times of the day. That's hilarious. I stopped recording and somewhere over there a cannon was just fired. Is it over there where the guy's talking?
Don't know.
That was pretty loud. Kira, you okay?
Yeah. If it was closer, it'd be louder.
It wasn't that cannon though.
Yeah, 'cause
There's
it's
no one there.
farther away.
I see the smoke too. All right, we are coming up on the Palace Green. The road is split. It's like a boulevard. Like they've made a parkway with green grass in the middle. And then down here at the end is the governor's palace. This will be the governor that was appointed by the king. The site of the first theater from 1716. Very interesting. Right here on this site. There it is. Playhouse stage. Looks like they had a show at 11 today. Man, very interesting. Is all the walking around wearing you out?
Yeah. I found a stick.
You found a stick? You found the palace. So this is where the governor who was appointed by the king or queen lived. That was the leader of our colonies. All right, here it is, the governor's palace. And really, I mean, you've got a lot going on here. A lot of different buildings. Hey, the cannon fired again. Kaylin was just pointing out that there is a unicorn statue over here. Now we have to go look closer. Look, you can see the horn of it right now. It's holding what looks like the coat of arms. That is intriguing.
In 1722, it was destroyed by fire. No more British anymore.
That's funny. Kira, we were just talking about, the girls are saying, so we used to be British? I'm like, yes, we were a British colony. And Kira's like, so I just, in my head, imagined that we were British. And then one day we stopped being a British colony and we lost our accents. Kira, that's great. I love that. Oh, there's little trails all over the place.
Goats exist. They got horns.
It's Prince George Street. You're taller than me. You're cheating. You found something interesting. What is it?
I found something interesting.
So George Washington used it as the headquarters?
Yes.
Look at these. I'm just looking at these tiny little red bugs everywhere. Wow, that is very interesting. We got the Bruton Parish Church right here, as well as the cemetery.
I suddenly feel like I'm at home.
Why?
Live Oak.
Live Oak, Texas. Here's the entrance to the church, and they still have actual services. Historical organ recital. Now that sounds interesting. All right, Kaylin's interested to go in. Kira wants to go look at gravestones.
I bet someone would accidentally sit on these.
The older they are, the harder they are to read. I wonder if we can go inside. I would love to see the inside. Church architecture has always fascinated me. Margaret Keith died in 1733. Wow. Can you tell the time? So it will actually be off by an hour because daylight savings time messes with the time.
Can you go back there and look at that building?
I can't quite make out anything that's on there. Tanya wanted me to go check it out, but I don't want to cross the rope. Everybody's trying to figure out the time based on the sundial. The church has been a non-stop operation for 310 years as a church. Look at how they have it sectioned off. So in the older churches, the family would buy the pew. And so then that's like your reserved spot. So your family's gonna be in the same spot all the time. That's why you've got names here. So we were just learning about this. So men would have sat on the left, women on the right, It wasn't about pews that you purchased, but it was assigned by your class in life. So the further back you were, the poorer you were. And the students from the University William and Mary sat up there to include Thomas Jefferson. There's going to be a concert here of Handel's Messiah tomorrow night at 7:30. Pretty good sized crowd. Friday at 2:30. $3.50 for a bottle of water. And the horses came right to you, huh, Kaylin? Right to you?
Yeah, Mom was standing right there.
Y'all found Professor Sycamore?
No, what did you say?
You found Professor Sycamore?
Yes. I had.
Our family loves Pokemon, and we discovered that all of the professors in the Pokemon cartoon are all named after trees.
Well, recently they've been naming them after plants that grow on trees. Like we have Professor Magnolia.
Magnolia is a tree. It just so happens to have a flower.
What do you think of Magnolia? I make it see the flower.
More horses have arrived.
They're being kind to an animal.
Weaving, spinning, and dyeing is happening back there. More horses are on their way. The horses are converging. There's the courthouse right there.
I look to my left.
Nice. There's the Capitol down there. A couple of riders on horseback. Horse carriage is headed back. I don't know if your mask is going to fit through there, Kira. You sure it doesn't raise up?
Some people have small heads.
All my children have big.
All your children have big heads?
Yes.
You have a big head?
Yeah.
All right. All right. They wouldn't lift up. They couldn't put their heads through. Kaylin's over there with her modern 2025 aluminum can. What'd y'all do to get in here anyway?
Walked in the middle of the street.
Walked in the middle of the street with a cat mask on. All right. Let's go, you rebels. There's an outdoor store over there. Just working our way back to the truck. Everybody's getting a little worn out. There's a vineyard back there. I think that actually might be a restaurant. There's an ambulance about a block away. All right, so let's talk really quick about the price. I was just looking online. You can do an online discount, $31.50 per person for the day to get your tickets where you can go and visit all these places. Seems a little bit pricey, that's for sure. It is less than that if you're 12 years old or younger. But what I liked was that there's an annual pass for $75 per person. Considering that there's 1,000 trails that's just about 10 miles from here, and we really like that park, I could totally see us coming back to this area and spending honestly, we could spend spring and fall here if we wanted to, based on our life schedule and our home base. We could pay that $75 per person and we could just come over here for a few hours a day and explore all the different little museum places. So to me, that seems like a really great thing to try out. Our kiddos seem to enjoy this. Kaylin is fascinated with how life used to be lived. So I could see that as something we might enjoy. Getting those season passes and being able to interact on a regular basis and really learn about the old culture. So we spent $8 for parking for about 4 hours. $13.50, I think, for 4 bottles of water. So just a little over 20 bucks for us just to come over here and wander around. Not too bad. I think that what we were able to see and take in just for walking around, that wasn't too bad at all. Since the kids are interested in what's going on here and would like to know more about how the life was lived back in the 1700s, I could see it being valuable for us to actually pay for this. So I would consider it for the future. Those slow trotters back there are actually going faster than me. I can hear their clippity clopping. We're coming back up here on the Capitol and we'll be back to the truck very shortly. Today was about 80 degrees, but anytime you spend a good amount of time in the sun, it's always going to make your energy drain. Got to cross the road before we get run over. There's a CV-22 Osprey, probably a Marine, the U.S. Marines. All right, and then the truck is just across the street over there. Not far at all. All right, thank y'all so much for joining us on our adventure to check out Colonial Williamsburg. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got some information out of it. I think we liked it a lot. I could see us totally taking this in again, and probably, I really think I could take that season pass thing seriously. That sounds like a pretty good deal. I appreciate the fact that my girls like this and that they want to know more. That warms my heart to know that we're getting out here and exploring the world rather than just keeping them trapped in a classroom somewhere. All right, remember that life happens. Don't let it stop you. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Hey Kyle, could you sweep the parking lot today?
Just a coincidence or punishment? It's kind of like this election, Mr. Reese. People may try to bribe or bully you, but...
Boy, look out!